Hello, welcome to today's edition of Callier & Thompson's Twice Baked, featuring us, the Kelly Twins. I am Bridget.
I am Margaret.
You can find all of our recipes at kellytwins.com. Maggie, why don't you tell them what we're cooking up for them?
Well, let's see, Bridge.
We're going to start with a peach and goat cheese tart, a pecan and cornmeal herb-crusted trout,
Classic Indonesian peanut sauce called gado-gado,
a wonderful Viennese-style nut tort.
a couple of simple 1, 2, 3 sauces to go with the kebabs that we're going to make, and the pork dumplings with a really yummy dipping sauce.
Very yummy. And the thing is, we're starting with something that's already got all the flavoring agents in the jar. We're just adding a
Couple of things to balance out flavors and enhance, turn it into a real easy sauce.
So it promises to be hot and spicy today, so stay with us on Twice Baked.
In keeping with our support of our local guys, we went out of our way to find Missouri raised pork. If you can find that kind of stuff in your area, fantastic. Of course, if your area is not Missouri, then you might want Vermont raised pork. But
that's not if you live in Seattle, of course.
right. Anyway, so then we make a nice little half circle. And then you take it on this side, a little more water.
Now that's good enough right there. That's a dumpling.
Oh, yeah.
That's all you got to do is seal it.
This is how you do a pot sticker. And if you want, that's one way you can cook them. A pot sticker goes into a hot pan, a little bit of oil.
We'll talk about that later. Get me shaped here.
Yes. Fine.
You can actually show them that.
Right.
Another show.
Ta-da.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah, isn't that cute? What are you doing with that?
This is going to go on top of my kebabs.
Okay.
Okay. That's not hot, so I can go there, right?
That would be embarrassing if it was.
That would be really embarrassing. You should see what happens when this camera goes off.
Hey, look at those.
Okay, now again, we eat with our eyes first, so these aren't very colorful yet, but we've got red, green, yellow, red. So we're playing with color and playing with levels of heat and levels of flavor and textures. So we should ring the bell on this one. We'll seal it and maybe rotate it once or twice.
Good.
And this can sit maybe up to 30-40 minutes, but you don't want it to sit too long when you're dealing with seafood, which is very delicate.
It doesn't take as long. Those proteins don't take as long to marinate and
break down.
It's smaller. You're not dealing with a big roast, so smaller piece, less time. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, eat a cannoli.
Eat a cannoli. I don't want a cannoli.
Eat a cannoli.
All right, I'll eat a cannoli. And I wanted to show just one. I love showing tips. I love hearing when I'm at the grocery stores or out and about and people come up and say, oh, I love your show because you tell us all these little helpful tips. You may not necessarily make what we're making right here, but you might walk away with the idea of zesting a lemon. I'm going to give this some short zips on my microplane to pull off just the zest. That part of the lemon that's yellow, once you get below that yellow into the white is where it gets bitter.
And we've actually, in the kitchens, had this sent back to us saying, I didn't order salmon, I ordered trout. And that beautiful color comes from eating a lot of crayfish. And we're going to lay them out, season them a little bit, and then we're just going to roll them right into our crust. Now, trout is a wonderful fish to either saute or bake it. Either way, it depends on what's easiest for you. Righteous.
Isn't that pretty?
Right into the crust. Beautiful. Now, you can roll with 2 pans if you want to serve 4, or you can just go right into the oven with this. Very nice. We got it, but we're going to have to make some room here. Missouri pecans grow smaller. They're a lot smaller, a lot higher, and I had a brain fry there.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. So what you want to do is use one of these spatulas to get all the way underneath, a long one.
They can't see that.
Well, I'm not going to show them. I'm going to show them in a second. Okay, when you get under in there and you peek at it, it gives you that nice color. Get sure it gets all loose. Whoa.
Gorgeous.
Now at this point, we hope that you have reserved some of your lemon juice, and we'll drizzle a little bit of that on it. Go gently over, but you need one of these long guys to do that.
Here's Glenn Bargett with Missouri's Wine and Grape Advisory Board and today's spotlight on Missouri's
Port. The beautiful after-dinner drink that we make here, primarily from the Norton grape, is very reminiscent of the beautiful dessert wines of Portugal.
Oh my gosh. Back now, we're going to do this tort, not to be confused with a tart.
It'd be so yummy.
Yes.
We're making a chocolate pecan bourbon tort.
Crack into your hands. You may think it's gross or unsanitary, but if your hands are nice and clean, you won't have that problem.
No worries. No worries. We want to point out here something important. Notice we had all of our stuff assembled. This isn't a critical time, even though it's not too difficult a recipe, it's all about technique. So two things. One, we're assembled, ready to go, and two, we whipped our egg whites first, then we went into our bowl with our egg yolks and one white. You can mix whites with yolk and whip them. You can't mix yolk into white and whip them.
Right, very worth mentioning. So here we go in with our sugar.
Now we look good. Notice the color change. We're thick, and as it's whipping, you can see little ribbons forming.
We'll take a peek here and show that.
See that?
Like Bridgie's warning me of that because we're going right into the egg whites. We want to get most of the mixing here. Don't tap on the bowl because if you do that, you're going to
pops air bubbles.
That's right. You want to be very delicate.
You got to know when to hold them.
When to hold them.
Know when to fold them. Do you like the bottom side of that bowl? You can see so
you know
well.
what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She's not going to get everything.
Oh, and we're ever so gently folding. Never count
We have-
your pecans.
While you're sitting at the table,
There'll be time enough for eating when the bacon's done.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm so
cute. Oh my God, we just got cute.
You're watching Twice Bakery. Thank you. Stick around.